Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Flipping Out. I'm your host, Paul Eisel, and today I have somebody from St. Louis, Missouri with me here, investor in St. Louis. I love the St. Louis market. It's good when I've done well over the years in that market. And with me today is Tatiana. We can call her Mrs. E because I think it's Zavgarovsky. Is that correct? I want to make sure
Yeah, that's right. But Miss D is what they call me.
Miss E is what we're going to go with here.
Yeah.
Miss E has been investing in real estate in the St. Louis, Missouri market for a while here, and we're going to find out all about her business, what she does, how she helps people, and what her focus is on. Tatiana, thank you very much for coming on the show. Appreciate you joining me.
Hi, Paul. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm very honored and pleased to be on your podcast.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you on here. I love it when I get women investors because it's a different perspective a lot of times that they're going to come with. And guys, we just think a little bit differently with certain things. So I love getting a female perspective here. So I really appreciate you coming on. And we're going to talk about wholesaling. You do a lot of wholesaling houses. Is that correct?
Yes,
In
that's
that market?
correct.
Tell
That's
us,
my one of primary focus lately.
perfect. Why don't you tell us how you got started, when you got started in real estate and what spurred that?
Well, that's actually a little bit long story because even though I do have a Midwest accent, some people understand I wasn't born here. So I left my home country about 25 years ago. And the main reason was I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to have my own business and make money using my own brain, which is at the time, post-Soviet Union space, wasn't very easy to do for someone like young lady without connections or money. So I moved to Israel. I spent 5 years in Israel. Uh, I worked in software development and I relocated from my corporate work to St. Louis, Missouri about 20 years ago, actually more than 20 years already. But I always had in mind with a dream to run my own business. I was looking for different ways how to achieve that. At the time, I was thinking real estate is not an option because I was on the assumption it required a lot of money to start this business. So I tried all kind retail things. And then about 4 years ago, after I already had one rental property, but I wouldn't call it an actual real estate business, I came across a very simple 7 days training that costed, I believe, $27. So I joined, and the moment I started to listen to all various strategies using other people's money, I'm like, wow, finally, I found what I was looking for. I knew immediately that's what I want to do. I jumped right in. The first joint venture was a big and very expensive learning lesson. I started to do a lot of networking. I signed up to a bunch of list of wholesalers. I joined another expensive mentorship that didn't deliver what they promised until a couple years ago. I came across amazing mastermind group, the right people, right mentor. And from that point on, everything kind of started a little bit slow for the first few months and then skyrocketed. So I'm doing wholesaling, I'm doing fix and flips, but the strategy I'm most passionate about is helping people to buy houses on seller finance.
Mm,
Because like being an immigrant, I kind of know that in many cases, you cannot get traditional mortgage. Even though like you have financial means, you're working hard, but there are all different rules for traditional lenders that we need to cross all the boxes. And when I started doing this strategy, I met so many people who really were like grateful
mhm.
for opportunities I was showing them. And the big difference after spending almost 25 years in large corporation, I rarely got any thanks, from my bosses. Even though I had 3 patents, I saved them millions of dollars, but it was for somebody else. And here, I'm not saying on daily basis, but definitely on weekly basis, I uh, I get a thankful client and people I help on both sides of the transactions, and that's probably the best feeling ever. I'm not like passionate about business I'm doing, but I also helping a lot of people change lives for the best.
It's the truth. People don't realize that. Like a lot of times, real estate investors will get bad names here, but the vast majority of investors out there are helping somebody who's in a bad situation or a situation that they want to get out of. So you end up helping them, right? You're helping a lot of people. That's truly what it is. And if you're creating owner financing on a resale side there, you're really helping two people. You end up helping two different groups of people, which is tremendous, right? It's something that you're not able to do in traditional, regular old retail business. The only thing you can do is kind of satisfy your customer with what you're selling, right? That's pretty much the only way. But here you're able to satisfy your customer that's selling to you as the buyer, and then satisfy somebody else on the other end. So that's definitely gratifying for sure. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
Yes, Paul. And you're right about names some investors have in the area, because a lot of people on the assumptions that real estate investors come in with lowball offers and taking advantage. And well, let's be honest, there are people like that, but it's not how you and I run our businesses. And in many cases, I'm just providing, the best advice I
Mhm.
have based on my experience. If I'm able to make a transaction work, that's nice. But if I'm able to help in different ways to refer them, to right lender or some other way to achieve what they want, I'm also happy and very happy. And lately, I get a lot of business through referrals from people who are grateful because they know me and they know I don't take advantage on anybody. Quite the opposite.
And that's important. That's really gold, because when people know that you're really truly helping them out without any kind of, even if you're not getting anything out of the deal, they're going to want to help you out if they can too. If there's somebody they could refer you to, somebody else, and there's art, this is an honest person I dealt with here. This is somebody you're going to need to talk to as well. That's the best kind of referral you can get, because you're walking into a place with trust already. You already have built trust from somebody else that referred you, which is tremendous, because let's face it, if you just send a postcard out there and you're coming in, first time you meet those people, they're looking at you wondering, what do you want from me? Right? They're looking at
Yeah.
you suspiciously. So when you get referrals like that, I mean, they are absolute gold. I do mostly buying bank REOs and online auctions, but I do get
Mm.
referrals from people too, because I used to do direct mail back in the day. And I still get referrals from even 2013. I've done deals with that were direct mail from those people. So refer people to me potentially to sell. So they still come along with, even just goes to show you, if you treat people right, it'll come back to you. It's a karmic universe, and all comes back to you, the good and the
Yeah.
bad that you do, you know?
Well, I treat people the way I'd like to be treated. And I'm here for long-term relationship, not, to make some money quickly and run away. And probably partially it's because I had this painful experience in the beginning. So for me, very important that people I work with don't have this kind of experience.
Very true. And you know what? You want to have those painful experiences early, because it teaches you and builds you. And you don't want to be that was an expensive, painful experience that you went through. Don't get me wrong. It's super expensive. But let's talk about that mastermind that you joined that really spurred you, that really helped you. What were the best things you got out of that group that really were to help it make you spring to the next level?
Well, first of all, amazing business coach. Damon Remy is probably one of the
Great.
best
Damon's great.
experts
I love Damon. Yes.
out there. And we have a little bit similar personality. We are both, top A's, so we are having a lot of fun when we are discussing business. And for people not top A personality, it might seem like we are fighting or arguing, but that's not the case. And since you know Damon, Paul, he's, amazing talent to see through people and what can work for them. And another thing, Damon builds, the right group of people in his mastermind. It's not a crowded mastermind, because I've been in those where coaches were basically after money. They were trying to get as many students as possible and didn't care much about value. Damon is completely the opposite. The number of participants is limited. And over years, we are becoming like good friends, where most of those people is like my extended family, and they don't have large family in general, and especially in the United States. But now I have people to rely on. And in business, like actually today, I just came from a closing that was a JV deal with one of the students from my mastermind. I have several people who are my end buyers for my wholesale deals in the group. And we always learn about new strategies, new ways. And I think I'm very passionate about technology because with my software background, what Damon does and what
Amen.
he's passionate about, it definitely matches what I'm looking for.
No doubt about it. I mean, he's built some really good software over the years for sure. I've known Damon since about 2014. We were in a mastermind group called Collective Genius back in the day before he went and started his own. And he's in St. Louis, correct? He's still in St.
Yes,
Louis.
yes.
So it's a
That's
local market, right? It's a local mastermind that he has.
no,
Or
no,
he
no,
have
no.
people from all over the country.
All over the country. Just me and few people are lucky that we are also in St. Louis, but most of our members are all over the states. And usually, if you have a question about certain strategy, usually there is someone who knows exactly how to do it, done it, or probably doing it. And we have participants in different levels. Some are in the beginning of their journey, but some already making 6 and even close to 7 figures in the business.
Yeah, there's no doubt mastermind groups help spring you to another level.
The
And
right one.
the right one. That's correct. The right one. And you do end up doing, it's amazing the amount of joint venture deals you end up doing with other people where you're selling wholesale deals to them, like you're doing to some of those, some of the other mastermind members, or whether you just join forces and attack certain markets. So I've done a lot of that myself. I belong to a few different mastermind groups over the years, and they're exceptional and worth every penny you pay to join them. And like you said, they become like members, like an extended family for you, just like members of a family. You look so forward to meet them. And if you do it quarterly, like we do, it's like you look forward to that event, right? Going to that event,
Yeah,
hanging with
exactly.
everybody, having lunch, dinner, and drinks and cocktails and stuff with them in the evening, and doing whatever activities they do. Now they're tremendous. I can't say enough about them. So
Yeah.
now let's talk a little bit about your business as far as your strategy. So you do wholesale, you'd also do fix and flips. Is there a certain percentage that you wholesale compared to fix and flip and seller financing or anything like that?
Well, as you know, real estate is a deal by deal basis. So even though some people like to put some statistics, I personally don't do that. So I would say primarily of my wholesale deal as of now, the low end housing that I'm selling to the clients who are selling when on seller finance. And I'm helping in many cases to find those buyers who can own their own home on their own terms. For fix and flip, like when I come across right deal and I feel it's the right deal, I jump on it. And over the last couple of years, I built some good relationship with contractors. So now I'm in a position to run 2, 3 fix and flip in parallel.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I do like the fix and flip going along with it here. I mean, you need to have the right contractors there. That's the absolute key with fix and flip. And we try to focus as much on wholetailing where we're doing minimal repairs as possible. Is that something you do as well?
that's the deal I just closed. Actually, the way it was, my GV partner from Mastermind got a house under contract that was super full of stuff, as we call aggressive collector, but more than that. It was like a completely trashed out house, and to be honest, it had actual poop on some floors.
I've
Yeah,
seen that. I know what you're talking about there. And those were like the stinkiest, just worst out.
yeah, yes, and we couldn't find a buyer, so I told him, you know what, let's close on this house, do
Mhm.
some work, and then sell it. Well, my GV partner wasn't open to do that. He said, you know what, if you want, take this house, do what you want, and then pay me at the end if you sell it. And that's exactly what I did. I bought this house. I found the amazing crew to clean it super fast and very affordable. And when I realized this house is perfect for someone who is looking to buy and hold
Mhm.
strategy. And guess what? Exactly at the same time, someone reached out to me from mutual connections and they thought, I want to invest in St. Louis and build my rental portfolio. I'm looking
Beautiful.
to do growth strategy. I'm like, you know what? I have a house exactly right there. I had contractor providing full estimate with some, caution to make sure the numbers work. And
Mhm.
2 weeks later, we closed the deal. So everybody got paid, plus my private money lender. My good friend is my private money lender who financed this deal, and she made probably almost 20% over 2 months.
Yeah, she was happy about that. That ended up being a joint venture with
Yeah.
her, and she's making some good money on it, which is tremendous.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like the right deal in real estate is win-win for all stakeholders. Everyone involved is getting a win situation.
It's the truth. And then sometimes you'll transition from being mostly an investor where you're doing the wholesaling, you're doing the flipping, and then you amass some money and then you start lending to other investors who are doing the same and you're the bank, which is nice and a little less stressful. I do a little bit of that myself,
I
uh,
do too.
which is
From
great.
my self-directed IRA, I actually, that's another exciting story. I have JV partner for wholesale side of business, and we came across amazing deal that she just closed to be her primary residence. And guess who lended the money? My self-directed IRA.
Gotta love that, right? I mean, it is the self-directed IRAs are incredible. They're great things, great instruments here when you're lending to other people. And it's just, you're able to not control, you're able to mitigate risk, right? Because now you don't want to be in the stock market right now, as volatile as it is. So being able to lend money here and earn some interest on it, come back into that account later on, it's tremendous. So how long have you been doing the self-directed IRA?
Well, I left my corporate job about 2 years ago. And since I've been doing a lot of learning about real estate, I knew the moment I leave my corporate job, I move my 401k account into self-directed IRA, and we'll start doing something. So it's been a year and a half since I'm using self-directed IRA, and yeah, it's super nice, and it's not as crazy as stock market. I've been there, I've done that.
Yeah, I know we're all dealing with that right now. And then the whole like breaking news here, Trump paused on a tariffs on everybody but China. So it's
Yeah,
10% across the board for the next 9 days and the stock market goes up 2,400 points. They so overreact to everything, right?
yeah,
It is what it is. And it's very volatile, but no, being able to lend and just build your IRA through lending to other investors, it's just such a great way to do it. I know a lot of people that do that. We do it. I actually have a life insurance policy, a whole life policy that we use to lend
yeah,
ourselves and other people. Another great resource and way to do it. And just, save yourself some money and make some more money
yeah.
from it. Just build your portfolio, right?
And that's
Yeah.
another thing that mastermind helps, right? Mastermind. They explain you about all those strategy because, again, thanks to Damon and special guests he's bringing to every meeting, I learned about another program, financial program, and then I learned about the universal life insurance or
Hmm.
whole life insurance.
Yep.
And even here, I believe in the United States, people are not taught properly about
Yeah.
financing. But for me, I was born in Soviet Union, and when I was a child, I was preparing myself to fight capitalists. So
Yeah.
I, I did not know. Now I am a happy
No, you were one.
capitalist,
Yeah.
proud one.
I know it's funny how the whole thing changes, right? Where you grow
Yeah,
up. Like it's so interesting. You've lived in multiple places now. So you get so many different perspectives that not a lot of people get. I mean, most people just born in the US, a lot of people don't even leave the US to know what the rest of the world is even like. So they just can't even they can't a different perspective that they can't see, unfortunately for them. Um,
yeah, but I appreciate, and the United States is the best countries I've permanently lived in.
Yep. It gives you a lot of opportunity that you don't always get in other countries, right? Especially the entrepreneurial ability and the ability.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're willing to put effort and do right thing, you can make whatever you want in the United States. Unfortunately, in other countries, the situation is different.
Yep. No, it's the truth. I mean, that's why we're, a bunch of immigrants that came over here, my grandparents and on both sides of my family, all entrepreneurs came over here and they just worked their butts off, built businesses and were success stories. And it's a shame because a lot of people they feel like a lot of people within the country don't feel like they can get ahead, but they just don't want to put the effort in to get ahead. Anybody can get ahead. You just got to look for opportunities and then work hard like you did. Look, you didn't let a big failure put you down and keep you and put you on the sidelines. You didn't quit. You kept going. It just made you stronger and better, and you won't let it happen again. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, Paul, also my background, I think, helps.
Yeah.
Like in the software development, I used in production support. It's very stressful. You always
Hmm.
need to make fast decision, about critical issues. I've been a chess player for years, so I love creative combinations. I love to predict a few moves ahead. And I'm a black belt in martial arts, so it doesn't matter how many times I fail. It matters how many times I get up and score.
Yeah, martial arts is tremendously good for mental toughness and physical, dealing with physicals and keeping you in shape. Do you still do that? Do you still do martial arts?
Yes,
Great.
yes. Well, my son is doing it on the top level.
Beautiful.
So we are participating in world championship. My son is 2 times world champion in Taekwondo.
That,
I got a bronze medal once. I'm still, I need to train better, but now I'm focusing on my business first.
oh, that's great. How old is your son?
One who is world champion, he's 16.
16. Okay. How many children do you have?
I have 2 boys.
Two
And I
boys.
love that they're boys because it's easy for me. I am
Yes, I know.
cooking myself.
I have three boys, 22,
Oh,
2018. So I know what you're saying. And I have an 11-year-old daughter, and she is way more difficult. Let me tell you, a lot harder to
I
deal with.
believe you.
We're dealing with that right now. And wait till she's a teenager. It's going to be even more fun, I'm sure. But anyway, no. So you're able to balance. And again, you got to, in about 30 minutes, you'll be going to pick up your son. So you're balancing your work life and, and your family life and all of that. And great thing about real estate is it allows you to do that, right? You can just work your real estate schedule kind of around your life. Is that something that you would say you do?
Well, I think currently I'm working as hard as I used to work when I was in corporate, but I'm doing for myself. And you are absolutely right. I can change my schedule the way it's needed for my family. So if there is an emergency, I'm always there for my kids.
That's
But
super.
eventually, after a few hard years, because you are doing it for longer than I do, so I hope you're in a better life work balance position. I'm pretty sure in about 3 years I will have perfect business/life balance.
Yeah.
Because once you build the right business, yeah, you don't need to work 24/7.
So true. So true. It takes a while to build that up and create your system so you can potentially get other people to do different positions, utilize AI, artificial intelligence a little bit more, and all these different things. I mean, you obviously coming from the tech world, you're probably able to utilize so much of the tech to make things quicker, more efficient, and better for you. There's no doubt. So that's tremendous. And there's not a whole lot of people that came from the tech space that are in the real estate space. So you have a big advantage with that because it gives you a different perspective. And having a chess, I mean, you got to be a master negotiator when you're negotiating with sellers. Being a person who is who plays chess all the time on top of martial arts, you're able to read people really well, read situations, and understand where to go. That probably has helped you, would you say?
I wish to agree with you, but even my JV experience shows that it's not exactly true when it comes to reading people. But I'm very good to put in, deals together. Like to find creative way, what can be done. Like it takes me a few minutes to come up with different options. And the reason I have a lot of JV partnership, because most of my JV partners are actually great negotiators and people who read people.
Yeah.
I'm too naive in some sense.
I mean, that is helpful to know your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, have other people offset your weaknesses, and you take advantage of your strengths in the best position possible. I have my wife in the business now. She's doing the bookkeeping for me and a lot of the different stuff that I truly don't like at all. But she really enjoys that because she likes what's called close end work, something where you get it and you can close it out and finish it, check it off the
Mhm.
list. Where a lot of what I deal with is still open ended to an extent, whether it's negotiations or we're trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do with each different deal that we get. And speaking of that, so when you look at a deal, you talked about this in the beginning here. Every deal that comes along, it could be quite different, right? And do you look at the highest best use case for that deal, or are you just going off of what is the best situation here for the seller to work, whether it's seller financing to you, or they want to all cash price and close really quick? Do you have any specific order you like to do it in, or any preference?
Yeah, great question. The way I do it, I always look first at what best for the seller. If I can deliver what is best for the seller, that's the option we go. If in some cases what seller expects is not doable, Then I'm trying to come up with different options still to help the seller and make it work for me.
That makes total sense. Yeah. And that's truly the best way to do it, just because one, they appreciate your help, right? And you're not just going after the cheapest, best way for you, right? You're still looking out for them, and it puts you in a driver's seat as far as them trusting you to get through the deal. And you probably end up taking a lot of deals down that other people wouldn't be able to get, that are just looking for the quickest, lowest cash deal offer for themselves, right? You see all those investors out there; they just want the
Yeah,
lowest
no.
cash price possible, but that's not always what's best for people, and that's where the bad rap comes in a lot of times for a lot of investors out there. So always want to look out for what's best for that seller, get them calm, put them in a good place. And then once they're comfortable and good, you're going to be able to find a way to make it work for you too, whether it's seller financing or however you end up making it work. Key thing, super smart. I'm glad you're doing it that way. In closing here, because we're coming up on about 30 minutes in here, is there a website? What are the best ways for people to get in contact with you if they have questions with you, if they want to joint venture with you? Or
Yeah,
they even want to lend money to you for what you're doing in business.
exactly. Yes, I'm looking for more private money investors to bring them double digits returns. Uh, I have a website, my company name, Trio Realty Partners. Not sure if it's much easier than my last name. Yeah, that's the name of my company, and that's the website, and it has my bio and testimonials and all information about how we buy houses. But this year I'm planning to improve my digital presence and to use my software development skills. But unfortunately, there is no tool to clone myself. So
You can only make a virtual AI, but it's not really a clone. It's just a
yeah,
bingo
it's not.
AI. It doesn't help. Yeah.
Yeah, so Trio Realty Partners or on Facebook, Tatiana Zagarovsky, and I think the moment you type ZAG and my first name, which is on my T-shirt,
Yeah.
you will see me a
And
lot
I
of
will
it.
link your info in the show notes and also on YouTube when it gets linked there as well, your contact info. So
Oh,
I'll get all this
outstanding.
info for you. So it makes it a little bit simpler. But no, a lot of great info here. Is there anything we missed? Is there any questions, anything that you feel I didn't ask you that you want to give to the audience?
Well, thank you for having me. I think we went over all major things. Again, you and I believe we can talk for hours, days, weeks, maybe months about real estate.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, look, I mean, real estate is so much fun. And if we were in a
Yeah.
mastermind together, we would be sitting there talking about all these different types of stuff and different negotiation tactics and different markets. Like I would love to get you in different markets. You're in St. Louis right now, which is great. But I would love to get you to look at other markets that are similar to St. Louis. But, at the same time, it's not easy if you don't have the boots on the ground in those different markets. But that's something we could talk about further in the future for sure, because you
Absolutely.
you and
Yeah.
I are connected through Jeremy Knopf, and he's got his mastermind group. We're in one of those groups together there, and we'll probably talk more about that. And I can help you if you need to, if you are interested in going to any different markets out there for sure.
Yeah. I appreciate it, Paul. Thanks a lot for having me. It was
Thank you
a
for
pleasure.
coming. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it. We'll catch everybody in the next episode.